Every time my stepsister gives me a blowjob now it's all awkward. Thanks, Pornhub. Step-siblings, how do you feel about the fact that you're heavily fetishized in porn? And in what ways has it affected your life? My best friend was sleeping with his stepsister for 2 years. The parents found out and the sister had to go live with her mom. I still ask him how his sister is doing just to get a reaction. The girl I lost my virginity to was someone I met because her stepbrother was my best friend at the time. About 6 months into our relationship I'm pretty sure they ended up sleeping together. I am a straight male and have a 20-year younger straight stepbrother. So, there is nothing. I also have a stepmom, but, no, just no. Seriously, even without being related by blood, she is my mom. And I am interested in her as much as in my real mom. Which is not at all, to clarify that for all the perverts. Some family friends of ours were step-siblings as teens, they actually started dating in their late 20s. They're both really great and we're all glad to see them together honestly. I went to their wedding, top-tier party. Amusingly enough, a few years after they got married, their parents, in their 60s, divorced, so they're not really step-siblings at all anymore. I always assumed that this bizarre trend started solely because actual incest might be illegal in several countries, so porn producers had to find an excuse to not lose the audience that's into that. Interesting, and then after that, it sort of caught on. It seems to be really popular right now. I can't go onto the front page of porn sites without seeing step-sibling, parent videos trending. I wonder what the psychological reasons behind this are. I think it has to do a lot with profits. I think quite a few people have a step-sibling fetish, so as a producer you will get those views, while the porn itself is relatively normal casual sex, thus a really big part of the viewers will be able to ignore the family part of it, and just go for the "I see people ducking" part. My stepsister, 11, is much younger than me, 17, and so when she approached me one time and said, "What are you doing, step-bro?" You can imagine my shock and how shook I felt. She said it as a joke, but now knowing what she watches will not leave my mind. Slightly related, my wife is a twin. But no matter how much twin porn I watch, I just cannot get into her brother at all. Well, once I was stuck and I had to ask my stepbro to help me and he wouldn't because he watched too much porn. My stepsister ironically says, "What are you doing, stepbro?" to piss me off. Edit, she has now seen this post and is not happy with me. Also I am not commenting on whether my stepsister is hot. I had a coworker that dated his stepsister. They were already dating when the parents met and then started dating. There was a standoff about which couple needed to stop dating and the parents won. They eventually got married and now he will tell people he slept with his stepsister. That is honestly very selfish of the parents. But at the end of the day you do you, you were already dating before they started dating, so I don't see anything wrong with it. It would be a different story if you were still under the age of 18, and still living under the same roof. I guess more of living under the same roof than 18, but you get what I mean. Edit, I've seen a lot of back and forth debate on this subject, and I feel it important to specify that if you are dating someone and both your parents start dating as well, that shouldn't bring a damper on everyone's relationship. I only have a problem if it was situational, and since it's purely situational we shouldn't let ourselves get so angry about it, plus we don't have all the details, it shouldn't be something that to get angry at each other for. I'm sorry for spiking this anger between you all. Do people actually give a damn about the titles of porn in the age of Pornhub? I think the stepbrother-sister thing is so popular only because they use hot porn stars. I also don't ever watch any of the story. Skip to the porn. The story is the only part one watch. The storyline is effective not because people apply it to their own step-siblings but because it's someone I shouldn't be attracted to, but technically it's fine, but also technically we both have to keep it a secret, but we are both consenting adults so it's just secret banging with no strings attached. Building on what you said, I think it's effective because we're in the age of divorce, and countless hormonal teens have found themselves suddenly living with a stranger who, for all biological purposes, are viable sexual partners. Imagine being a horny 15-year-old and suddenly a hot 16-year-old girl you've never met moves into the room next to you. Or your 50-year-old dad brings home a 20-year-old trophy wife. In other words, it's my unconfirmed theory that it's an outlet for confusing feelings children of divorce might experience in this day and age. I'm a woman and all my step-siblings are older men. In high school I had at least 2 classmates that I remember asking me if I ever fooled around with them or thought of them as more than brothers. Freaked me the hell out because I didn't know that this was even a fetish. I haven't had someone ask since then because I guess most adults know better. My opinion on the porn itself is meh. It's not my thing but I don't judge. Just don't try to bring me into that nonsense. Not sibling but parent, my stepdad tried to come onto me, I ran away a year ago and never looked back. Edit, I'm doing alright, I've been worse. Getting a new social security card was pretty easy but my birth certificate is not, so I haven't done that yet. I miss my siblings and our pets but it was a toxic environment so I'm glad to be out of it. Mom is still married to the pedo creep. Ugh. I lived it. My stepbrother, step-cousin did some gay stuff to me when I was young. It's not awesome and gay stepbrother, cousin porn is not on in my search history. Hope it didn't negatively affect you or you have at least been able to process it emotionally. I'm still linking up, reconciling my conscious processing with my unconscious, subconscious processing of stuff that happened in my teens, and talking about it in therapy. A bit different from the question you asked and a little off topic, but my sister's dad married a woman and then his mom, my sister's grandma, married the woman's dad while they were still married. So I get a kick out of telling people my sister's dad was at one point married to his stepsister and seeing their reactions to them saying that's weird as hell, and then I explain it to them what happened and they laugh. My stepbrother told me it wouldn't be gross if we had sex, because, if it feels good, it feels good. I got pissed, told him he was being disgusting, and asked him to stay away from me. And later I had to explain to my parents why I wanted him to stay away from me. So, that was fun. Edit, I just want to clarify, to me this was an awkward thing that happened some time ago, that could have been affected by a normalization of step-sibling porn, and not a traumatizing experience that's haunting me. The only reason I thought about it now, is because I read the question of this thread. He was young and drunk when it happened, it was awkward for a while, but he respected my boundaries and we have a platonic sibling relationship and friendship now that I wouldn't wanna be without. I had 2 older stepbrothers for a while from my dad's side. I visited my father once for a 3-week vacation. It was all relatively fine until one night when I was watching TV at midnight with one of them and he mentioned how he was slightly disappointed that I wasn't a sexy curvy woman because he was looking forward to having a stepsister, especially since he heard I was chubby. He had moved really close to me on the couch and tried to touch my hair. I tried to scooch away and he grabbed my arm. I kicked him and ran upstairs. I locked myself in my room and made preparations to go home. I slept for a few hours, got up with the sun, and was driving down the highway by the time my father was awake and calling to see where I went. After that, I refused to go on any family outings with him or even do New Year's dinner with him. Not the step-sibling in this story. I was 6 and my sister was 9. My older stepbrother was 18. Parents had no idea, I don't think so at least. I once had an older brother who came in from my stepfather's side of the family. After about 3 months together he started acting weird. He would be the coolest brother when others were around, but when it was just me and my sis things got bad. He would often stare at my sister and one time he tricked her into getting a chance of me getting on his lap, but I was too smart for that. He physically assaulted me many times and I had learned to adapt very quickly. This didn't really hit me at the time, but me and my sister liked anime, so maybe he saw lolis and thought he could use us. I will never understand this fetish with children.
Like and subscribe for more funny, interesting, and scary r/ask Reddit videos.